Namaste, yogis. So this is your sunset yoga routine, a yoga practice that you can do right before bed or in the evening to kind of get settled and ready to relax and go to sleep. We'll start in tabletop. Take an inhale here in tabletop, and then exhale, sit back into child's pose. On your inhale, come back to tabletop. And then tuck your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take this sequence 2 more times, moving at a slow and steady pace, no rush. Next time you're in downward facing dog, stay and hold your downward facing dog. And if you like, in downward dog, you can wiggle around and move any way that feels good for a couple of breaths. All right, now on your inhale, extend the right leg up into the air, and then exhale, pull the right foot up in between the hands, and let's land it into a low lunge, so drop the back knee down. If you need extra padding, you can fold your mat lengthwise so that the knee is comfortable. Come up onto your fingertips, roll your shoulders back, take a big inhale, look forward, and then as you exhale, sink the hips back and drop the head down into a half splits. Inhale again, coming forward to your lunge, and then exhale, half splits. Okay, so another option here is you can put blocks underneath your hands. Totally up to you, right? Blocks are a stack of books so that you can get a little bit taller and more length through your spine. Good, let's do this movement 2 more times. Last one. Good, and then hold this half splits. And as you hold here, consciously lengthen your exhale so that it is slightly longer than your inhale. Okay, on your next inhale, come forward. And if you're using blocks, you can shift them off to the sides of your mat. I'm going to put mine out of the frame and then step back to downward facing dog. We're going to skip vinyasa here, okay? So inhale, lift the left leg up for your second side, and then exhale, pull the foot through, coming into a low lunge. So again, drop the back knee, and if you like, you can fold the mat underneath that back knee. And again, same thing, you can use blocks on either side of the front foot if you'd like. I'm going to work without blocks on this side. So roll the shoulders back, take an inhale, look forward, and then exhale, shift the hips back and lift the left toes for half splits. And we'll do a total of 5 rounds, which I believe is how many we did on the first side. Now your hands don't absolutely have to stay in the same place. You can walk the hands forward and back with you if that feels more comfortable. Over time, you might find that you want to keep the hands in one position. Okay, last round. And as you come into this half splits, again, we'll hold and breathe here. Lengthen your exhale longer than your inhale. Okay, bend the front knee. and step back to downward facing dog. This time we can take a vinyasa, and you can of course do any variation you'd like. Here's the one I'm going to suggest. Inhale to plank pose. This is plank, right? And then exhale, lower your knees. Lift your hips up, arch your back, point the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips lifted, lower your chest and your chin to come into 8-point pose. So notice the elbows squeeze back along your sides. Then slide forward into a low cobra. Point the toes back as you lift through the chest. Exhale, release, and head back to downward facing dog. Okay, back to the right side. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right foot forward. And again, low lunge, drop the back knee. This time, walk your right foot a little wider to the right so that both hands can come inside this front foot, setting up for lizard lunge. Stay up on the hands, or use one of those blocks or one of those books to stack your forearms on top of the block. Or if you feel ready, you can bring your forearms all the way down to the mat and take some breaths here. So every time we hold a pose in this sequence, consciously you can make your exhale longer than your inhale. So your exhale can be up to twice as long as your exhale. So if you wanted to be counting, your inhale can be 5 counts. Your exhale can be up to 10 counts. But remember, it's not a contest. You don't win if you get an exhale as long as 10 counts. Make sure that ultimately the breath is comfortable, which is the most important part. This breath technique is called Visamavriti, unequal part breath. Now, if you'd like here on this right foot, you can open the knee out to the side and come onto the pinky toe side of the foot to slightly change the angle of the leg. Feeling the stretch a little differently through the hip. Okay, and then come up onto your hands, and we're moving into pigeon pose. Heel toe your right foot across the mat to the left side, and then lower the shin down. Reach back long through the back foot, and then fold over. So again, you have choices. You can stay up on your forearms. You can use your prop here and place your forehead on the prop. And I especially recommend this option if you have a headache. Okay, the pressure on the front of the brain, on the forehead, will help to relieve some of that tension from a headache. Okay, so that's a choice. And then the other choice is to lower the head down. If you want an even bigger stretch in the hip, extend the arms forward. Long exhale. Slide your hands back in and lift through the crown of your head. Now, lower the right sit bone down to the floor, shift your weight to the right, and slide this left leg around to set up for a seated twist. So your left foot comes to the outside of your right hip. You can stay here. The alternative is to set the right leg straight, and you'll choose making sure that you're evenly balanced on both sides of the pelvis. Inhale, extend right arm up, and then exhale, twist to your left. And once you get there, close your eyes. Keep the back hand in close towards your back body so you can push into that back hand and lift through the chest. Breathe here. Visamavriti, long exhale. Okay, release the twist. Shift back to your right, take the left leg back, and then head back to downward facing dog. Okay, so again, I'm gonna skip vinyasa. You can take one if you'd like between sides. When you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg up, draw it forward into a lunge. Set the right knee down. Walk your left foot more to the left to come into lizard. Hands are both inside the front foot. And again, either on the hands, dropping forearms to a block, or lowering the forearms down. Tune into your breath. Optional to come onto the pinky toe side of this left foot to open the knee out to the side. Then come back up onto your hands. Pigeon pose. Walk your left foot over to the right and then lower the shin down. Back leg is nice and long, and then fold over to any of those options onto your forearms, placing a block underneath the forehead, or drop the head all the way down. If you need more sensation, more stretch, extend the arms forward. Long exhales, which is a way of creating calm and relaxation through the body, through the mind. Walk your hands back. Press into your hands to lift through the crown of the head. And then lower the left sit bone down. Shift into the left hip and draw the right leg around to set up for seated twist. Okay. Again, if you want, you can extend the left leg straight. And then inhale, the left arm lifts. Exhale, rotate and twist to your right. So avoid slouching, okay, where you're kind of here. Keep that back hand in so that you can have the arms straight and help lift through the chest. And then close your eyes. Slowly unwind and head back to downward facing dog. Take the vinyasa if you'd like. So here I'm going to take one. Inhale, forward to plank. Let's try knees, chest, chin, lowering, hips lifted. Keep the elbows close. Slide into a low cobra as you inhale. And then exhale, drop the forehead down. We're going to stay here on the belly to do a little bit more work. So you can come up into Sphinx pose on your forearms. Okay, elbows directly under shoulders, forearms forward, lifting through the chest. If you're feeling like you're here and you're shrugging, push down into the elbows, press down through the front of the pelvis, get this big stretch through the front of the rib cage. Then lift the left hand off the floor, cross your right forearm parallel to the top of the mat, bend your left knee, and reach back to grab the foot so you're in half frog pose. Okay, we're stretching now into the left quadricep, and you can stay here or you can drop the forehead down to let go of the back bend. Release that side. Come back up onto your elbows. Second side, lift the right hand, cross the left forearm. Bend the right knee, reach back, grab the foot. Stay here. If you're staying here, make sure you've got shoulders back, lifting through the sternum, the center of the chest. Or if you'd like, drop the head and come down. Okay, then lower and release that left leg. And now you can stay here. I'm going to turn just so you can see better what's happening. Okay, so you're still lying on your belly. And now extend your right arm out long to the side. Take a quick look at your hand. Make sure it's about as high as your chin with your palm face down. Left hand underneath the left shoulder. Push into your left hand and roll to your right side. So you pin the right arm in place so that we're getting a bit of a stretch here, or a bit of a twist around this right arm. Stay here, or bend your left knee, put your left foot on the floor. Stay there, or bend both knees, try putting both feet flat on the floor. Then lastly, you can extend up through the left arm and wrap this arm around your back to tuck the fingers underneath your rib cage. Unless you have a battery pack attached to your back, in which case you can't. Or take this arm long and see if you can reach and find the other hand, but the goal is not to move that right hand at all as you do that. Release, come back to center. Same thing on the second side. Slide the right hand in. Extend the left arm long. Push into the right hand and roll to your left side. If you'd like, bend the top knee, put the foot down behind your right leg. To go deeper, bend both knees, put both feet flat on the floor. Extend the right hand up for the ceiling. Wrap it around your back, step one. Stay there. Or reach back long and clasp the hands together. Good, release, come back to center. One more thing. Right arm long. This time, bend the elbow so that your arm is in a 90-degree angle at that elbow. Press into your left hand, roll to your right side. You're not going to go quite as far this time. How's your breath doing? Are you still lengthening the exhale nice and long? Okay, and then switch sides. Left arm out long, bend the elbow, press into your right hand, roll to the left side. Okay, come out of that, back to your belly, and then sit back to child's pose. So again, I'm going to turn, so I'm back on my mat. Sit back into child's pose. Release your arms down by your sides with your palms face up. And move into your V-Samavriti breathing pattern. Exhale longer than your inhale. And then slowly press up to seated. So that's the end of our asana portion of the practice. And now I'd like to do a 5-minute seated meditation. So find any props that you need to sit on so that you can be comfortable. I advise having some kind of height underneath your hips. And we'll do 5 minutes. I'm going to put on the timer for 5 minutes here. There's our starting bell. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. Hands can be either resting on your knees or in your lap. So, sense your breath starting about 3 to 6 inches below the nose, outside the nostrils. And as you inhale, feel the breath sliding up through both sides of the nose, meeting at the midbrain, the very center of the brain, about 2 to 3 inches back behind your eyebrow center. This is symbolic of your third eye chakra. So inhale through both sides of the nose, see an inverted V shape of that breath, moving into the single point of the midbrain, third eye center. And then as you exhale, send that breath, that awareness, down the length of your spine. Inhale, starting 3 to 6 inches below the nose. Inhale slides up through both sides of the nose and then meets in the midbrain, single point there. Exhale, send that breath, that energy, down the length of your spine. Inhale through both sides of the nose to the third eye point, midbrain. Exhale down the length of your spine. Continue that awareness. Sense the inhale start 3 to 6 inches below your nose. And as you inhale, feel the breath, sense the breath sliding up through both sides of the nose, meeting at the third eye center in the midbrain. And with your exhale, send that breath, that energy, down the whole length of your spine. Draw your palms together in front of your heart. And then rub your hands to build some warmth and energy through your palms. When your hands are nice and warm, place the hands over your eyes, cupping them here lightly to seal in your energy of peace, clarity, and wisdom. And draw your palms back together. Namaste.